I'm all about the customer. I don't care what I think. I don't care what you think.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's what they do. And the closer we can come to that, it's like you're in sync with them. And it also takes the pressure off the writer marketer to try to be some genius, having to make up I see so many people who do these meetings and they're all separate. I'm like, I actually have a pod on doing the customer voice where you take out social media discussions, put it in there, create a customer voice, have it look at your writing, tell you what it liked, have it look at your writing and rip you.
Oh, I love that.
It's my most popular pod, which is funny because to me, everybody's doing brand voice, but that's what I'm an old dude. All we had was sit around a room, make it up, separate, not connected. We're connected now.
Oh,
It's all them, and they're talking more than ever. I mean, my gosh, you want to see what we're like? And I had to learn because I am an old dude. I was working and I was using old dude language. I can say it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I actually did reverse mentoring with a bunch of much younger people than me. And my success rate went through the roof, not because I try to be them, but it's their world. These are the people I'm contacting. Can't be all, no, it's not about old dude being cool, hip, and whatever. It's more about, here's the language pattern. Here's brevity. Mostly my learning was I could write you War and Peace, be briefer. Really, and I would do that with Chat GPT. Okay, man, take this thing and cull out 2 paragraphs, not so much to use as 2 paragraphs, but to see out of my verbal onslaught, I just write. I type 100 words a minute. So it's almost a weakness now. But out of that, because, usually Kurt Vonnegut used to say about page 40, he got to what he meant. I mean, it's, the thing down at the bottom is usually when you put it up top is usually your lead and you actually bury it because it takes you a page or 2 to get to the lead. Mm-hmm. So how do you handle that as a writer? Do you teach this with people you work with or something similar?
Oh my gosh, so many things I want to say here. One piece of advice that I give my writers to kind of combat that, we call it throat clearing, is, well, there's actually 2 pieces of advice. One piece of advice is write the introduction last. By the time you get to the end of a piece, you have a good, solid foundation. You know what your footing is. You know the best way to enter into that text. So write your introduction last. But the other piece of advice, especially if you're not going to take that first piece of advice and you've already written your introduction, is delete the first paragraph. Just delete the first paragraph. It's almost always throat clearing. Get to the point, and you've probably started getting there after that first paragraph. So those are 2 pieces of advice. But using AI to analyze voice of the customer, this is not something I have done yet, but it is something I want to do, and you have inspired me. I have a whole process that I take clients through. We call it the forensic customer profile. We interview customers, we do message mining. So we're looking for like audiences online and pulling language in from, depending on the client, different sources. It could be Reddit, it could be Quora, it could be other discussion forums, it could be social media, but we're looking for like audiences and pulling that language in. Once I have a collection of voice of the customer, then I very manually, I put this in an Airtable. I'm a data geek. I might be a writer, but I'm a data geek. I put it into an Airtable and I tag it, I categorize it, I group it, I filter it, I spin it, I look at it from all different lenses, all different angles. And from that, I'm able to come up with message maps, customer profiles, recommendations that use the customer's language. That's the best way to connect with customers, is to use their own language. And again, I'm using the word language, I really mean vocabulary.
Yeah.
How customers talk is how you should be creating your content. The disconnect I see more often than not, and I work with a lot of technology companies, so I see this more often than not with technology companies, is the company is using totally different language than the customers are using. And there's a gulf between them. So we go through this process And we really very closely look at the vocabulary, the language the customers are using, and we actively, strategically, thoughtfully use that language in the content. And it connects. It connects with these people because they are seeing themselves on the page. But it's a very manual process for me. It's a very lengthy manual process that I honestly, before the last 6 months, wouldn't have thought a machine could do. But I'm curious. I kind of want to take one of my older projects and run some experiments with the voice of the customer data and see what a tool like Chat GPT comes up with, and just see if it's similar, different, if there are things that it identifies that I didn't, if maybe the quality of my work is better because it was manual and I've got 20 years of experience that I am applying here. Maybe my 20 years of experience mean nothing. Maybe the AI can spot things that I can't spot. But I want to run that experiment now.